Welcome back to another weekly analysis. I'm gonna be talking about breaking down gold. I'm gonna add a little bit more forex pairs in there just so I can get everything condensed into one. So this analysis will be just um, forex pair analysis plus gold. So I'm gonna start with gold. Let's get started. So let's break it down from the monthly. Just like I always tell you guys, we got to start from the monthly, right? So on the monthly, what we got? We have we're gonna find the monthly key levels. So we gotta identify key levels in this market where we've seen the market reject from. So this is number one key level. That's one. At 27.3, we see another one here. Found an area of support here. And then see another one right here. So we can just take this ones for now. I think this one's major key levels. We can maybe, we can maybe take this one too, because we see the market came here, found an area of resistance and broke back down. Came here, rejected it, came here, rejected it, came here also, broke above it, and now retesting it. So we can break it down again to weekly. So in the weekly, we can line it up and see what's going on. So we see the market retested it here, respected it here, respected it here. Here also support, resistance, now support. So what we're going to be looking for in this market is to follow the trend to see what's going on. So for me though, what I normally do is I correlate gold with dollar index. So I use the dollar index to see the correlation of gold. So for example, I'm going to show you guys this. For example, let's say we look into the DXY. That's the dollar index. So because we see the dollar is going down, that means the inverse is going to be happening for gold. Gold is going to be going up. So when we see the dollar doing this, then we're potentially going to see gold going up, right? So I'm going to show you guys. So this is the dollar index. Let me use this bar. I've already analyzed the dollar index before. So this is my analysis on dollar index, right? I'm going to take off the drawings just so we have a fresh chart. So we see it's been dropping, and we're potentially expecting gold to keep soaring, to keep going up because dollar has been dropping. This has dropped drastically all the way from here. From 112 is down at 99. So gold has a long way to go up. In my own, what's the word? Like, I think gold has a long way to go, to be honest, because the dollar is gonna keep crashing. It looks like dollar is not doing well at all compared to other pairs. You can just write any pair with the dollar behind it, and you'll see what I mean. You can check, for example, let's see AUD. Definitely AUD will be going up because the dollar is weak. So see, for example, this is one. So you can see the AUD has been going up, right, for the past couple days, right? Let's check EURUSD. Same, EURUSD has been going up. GBPUSD, same, GBPUSD has been going up. So any pair that has the dollar with it, then USD CAD, because the dollar starts with it, this will be going down. Apparently, let's see. So here we have it going down. So it's just that easy. USD JPY also probably the same thing, going down. About a few days, past few days, it's been going down. So just by looking at this, you can see the correlation with the dollar index and other pairs that has the dollar attached to it. It's just a smart way to look at the market. So let's go back to what we're looking at. We're looking at gold right here. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna analyze all these other dollar pairs. I think I should, just so I can, because I'm gonna find more opportunities on there. So for gold, On the weekly, we have found these key levels, right? So we know where our monthly key levels are, and we see the market testing it. So now what we got to do next is identify fib ratios. So we're going to get from this low to this high. What do we have? We see the market bouncing off of the 61.8. So this is a valid key level, right? We know once the market bounces off of a 61.8, we kind of see a push to the upside. So we have identified this area. What we can do now is box it out. So let's box this area. So we're seeing the market is boxed here. Okay, so now we can go into the daily. We can take this off. We're just gonna look for things that will make this market make sense, right? So we can see gold has pushed up and it has potentially broken a previous area of resistance. So this area, you can see the market broke below it, came into this zone, which is a 61.8 and also a strong area of support, and it rejected it, right? It pushed back up, came into this area of resistance, but swiftly broke above it. So that's good. We could get a break above this zone. So what I'm looking for now is for a retracement, a possible retracement of this market coming back into the zone. I think this is pretty easy to analyze. All we're just going to wait for is another retest into the zone and push back up, right? So we'll potentially be waiting for something like this. This is what I think is going to happen. So we're going to see a retest and a push back up, which will kind of make it look like head and shoulders, something like that. We might see this happen in the next week or so. Next couple of days, we can see that push back down and push back up. We can look at more into it on the 8 hours. You can see this looks like it's already rejecting. It looks like it's turning around. So I'm just going to breeze through this whole analysis, so I'll be fast with it. I'm not going to explain too much because it's kind of is self-explanatory. It actually details itself out. So what we're waiting for is a push into the zone and then push back up. I'm going to set an alert here just so I'll be informed whenever the market comes into the zone. So once the market is at 1938, I want to buy. So I can say buy more gold. Buy more gold. I mean, that's what I can just write there. So this is a zone I'm expecting the market to come into, yeah. So we can also do fibs just to follow up what's happening there. So if you want to do fibs on this area, what you can do is this. You can get this area right here and push it all the way up here. And then what do we see? 61.8. Does that make sense again? So now we see the market can potentially do this for us, come into the 61.8 and then repel back up, taking us back to this neckline I talked about, forming something that looks like a head and shoulders pretty much. So this coming week, I'll just be patient, observing this market, seeing what's going to happen. And if I see this move happen, this is what we can do. Take our entry from here, targets here, stop loss here. Yeah, because we don't want it to deep back into the zone. If it's deeping back into the zone, anything below this point, we don't want to be in it because it might potentially magnetize itself into the zone. Then we might look for another entry. Maybe possibly it's going to look like a double bottom if that's what happens. But this is what our risk is going to look like, is what our potential profit is going to look like. We shouldn't be looking at the profit values and all that stuff, because that's what confuses us and psychs us out of the market. But when you look at the market like this, just making pure analysis, you can now be able to tell what kind of lot sizes you use, for this position, because from 1931 to 1923 is a big gap, to be honest with you, on gold. You need to use something small, like 0.10. 0.10 is okay, 0.20 is okay, depending on your account size. Right, so you just need to learn how to scale in and be okay with the type of losses that can potentially happen if you miss out on this trade, and also making sure you're not risking more than your daily loss limit for the day, whatever it might be on your account. So this is my play for gold in the next coming weeks or days. I think this is what's gonna happen in gold, right? So I'm gonna save this. This is my play for gold for next week. Let's watch and see what happens. I'm gonna send this to myself just in case, so I can keep a record of my weekly analysis. I normally do this every weekend, I'll say. So, all right, good. I just sent that to myself. So now let's go into another pair. Gold is done. It's legit. We've already figured that out. So now let's do GU. Okay. So GU, let's use something else just so we don't have that. Alright, so now GU, we'll do the same thing again. Pound, dollar, so same thing. Inverse of the dollar means GU is gonna keep going up if the dollar is gonna keep crashing. So we can analyze the monthly key levels. We see a monthly key level here, that's one. We see another one up here, that's two. Then in between all this whole saga, we can identify here as a good monthly key level, because you see the market rejected it here, rejected it here, rejected it here, and rejected it here as well. So these three places can be solid monthly key levels. Here also I can identify here as maybe the weekly key level. So if we go down to the weekly, we can use this. Actually, let's use this same thing. Identify another resistance and support going on here. We see the market rejected here, rejected here, rejected, or tested, whatever you want to call it. Same likewise here too. So we're expecting this market to get to this area, at least to magnetize itself into this area. Then so now let's go into the daily time frame just so we can find areas of entries. Okay, so man, this would have been a solid trade. Like if we actually was paying attention to this pair, we would have gotten in. This was a solid one, man. For the past 2 weeks, over 400 pips. That would have been a solid trade. But nonetheless, there's always opportunity in the market. There's no opportunities lost. You can always find more opportunities. That's how I see this market. Either way it's going, there's room to get on the trade. There's more opportunities happening every day, every week in the market. You just got to be able to identify and spot these opportunities, then you'll make money. So I don't chase the market. I don't really care about missed opportunities, because there's always opportunity happening. This right here is also another opportunity. So we have the market breakout, retest it. Now it's pushing up again. So with the market going up this fast, you might see a little bit of exhaustion, right? So after an impulse move like this, there might be a little bit of pullback, exhaustion, then continuation up. So we want to be able to catch this exhaustion, right? So we can identify if the market has gotten to a peak area. So what we can do is we see the market came here, formed the low here. We can take this high, and then we can look for a potential area the market might retest to. And what do we have here? We have 61.8 currently around this area. So we can identify this 61.8 zone, also this 38.2, but we have to see what has happened over the years in these areas. Still being strong support, then been strong resistance, right? So now let's get this area. So that's our 30. That's our 38.2 right there. So we're at 38.2 right there, and then our 61.8 is literally right here. I don't really see anything happening in the market at 61.8. Okay, look, right here. There's still like area of support in the long while, right? So let's go back. So potentially, because of the earliest area of support, 38.2 might be the earliest area I can get to. Just so I think GU might just retrace a little bit lower into 38.2 as the more potential area I think it might get into before pushing back up. So we might see this type of move happen on GU. Guys, just watch all this whole thing play out. That's how crazy it looks, right? We just be mindful of it. So this is what I think is gonna happen in the next coming days or weeks on GU. 38.2, we're pushing back into the zone. Remember, this is our weekly key level, monthly key level that I told you might magnetize itself into the zone. So stop loss goes right here, just so that in case we are wrong, the next area we're gonna see it magnetize itself into will be 61.8. And just how I've explained position sizing and how you enter this market, if we lose out of this trade, we can always take another one at this area and have our stop loss right here. And now ride this trade to the same length, you know what I'm saying? And that way, we're going to pretty much be making almost the same thing. So if we lose $1 here, and this is a 1 to 7 risk to reward, on this one, we'll make the money back on the same thing, Also potentially 1 to 7.29 risk to reward. We're just going to be entering on a better, cheaper price, and we can be able to push the market back up and make whatever we lost here plus more. So that's a smart idea in case the market breaks below 38.2. But my first choice, I think what was going to happen or play out to be the market coming at 38.2 and pushing all the way up. If that don't work out, another potential scenario we can look at is this. So these are my two potential scenarios in the market. This is what I think might possibly happen with GU. So that's that. That was easy. We'll keep it, short and easy and fast because that's what I think will happen. I'm gonna send that to myself again. All right, GU done. Easy. So this how I'm just breaking down the market so fast and moving on with it. So this is what I think will happen in the market, and also just given the fact that DXY is still doing this, let's break down dollar index so that all this whole thing can all make sense, right? So now back to dollar index. If we're gonna break this down, let me just review what I already have on it. So on the monthlies, what do we have? Really analyze this pair. We have analyzed our monthly and our weekly key levels. I've seen, oh man, this month was just the best month for dollar index. I mean for gold and the rest, because when I saw this, I knew dollar index was about to melt. I was tracking this in real time. I've been watching this. I saw this whole move. I saw when he broke out, he had to come back into the zone for his last kiss. After he got here, I saw it push back down, broke out this zone also. Then I had my entry here, pushing it all the way into this next zone. And everything all played out. If you even check the daily, the 8 hours, we had this happen. See, retest. I had an alert here also. And then a break of a counter trend line that I had here. This was my counter trend line. So what I think might happen right now, I'm not going to analyze into dollar a lot because I already have my analysis here already. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to see another retracement back up. So we're going to see that push back up into this zone. So we're going to see something like this happen potentially. Dollar is going to get a little bit of momentum going back up just to retest this zone it broke out of. And then Oh, sorry. So we're gonna see something like this. Let me look at the overall move. Let's look on the weekly. I'm just trying to make sure this whole thing is detailed as possible, you know, because you don't want to make no mistakes. Even I've been tracking this from here. Like I saw this and I was expecting this to push up. So we might see the new week open and go back and retest half of this area, like week into this area, then keep dropping, right? That's a potential move that I think might happen, because this to me looks like a pure double top and the market has broken out of here. So what we need is that final retest of this zone before pushing down, which I think a whole weekly candle stick should be able to do. Like we should have where the market is going to have a week around here. Maybe it might open around here, then go up, show a week, then throughout the rest of the week fall back all the way down. So potentially our first couple days of this week might be the market just pulling back up and, you know, getting a little bit of buys and all that stuff, like just propping the dollar a little bit, because that's what they do. They kind of prop the dollar just to give it a little bit of value. But you know, it's inevitable that this is going to keep falling, but it don't matter to us. We're just going to make money regardless. So this is what I think might happen. We're going to see this push up a little bit. It can get to this area and drop. There's a possibility it can get here and then drop all the way and just keep dropping, just keep melting, right? Or we can see something like this happen. You can see it come back into this key level zone and then drop some more, right? Yeah, this one was false. Okay. So we can see something like this happen. So we can see this. So we can see something like this happen. We can see the market potentially go back here. Let's go into the daily so it makes more sense. We can see the market potentially go back up, hit this key level area, which is my point 50 on, you know, what I call breaking the key level areas of even numbers, getting half of the even numbers and using them as key levels as well. So we can see the market get into here and push back down potentially. We can also see the market get back into all the way into the zone, because there was a lot of rejections on the weekly, which will make more sense if the weekly goes back to reject it. Just like this, you see how the market broke above here, and what happened? It came back down to retest it. So if you put something like a zone here, for example, put this right here, and you call this a zone, you can see the market broke above it, now came back to retest, then continued pushing all the way up. So that's just what happens in the market. Sometimes it might not get back steep into the zone. That's why I said it can potentially get here and turn. It might just give a very quick short retracement or exhaustion and just keep going back down. So that's why when we see something like this, we potentially think something like this is going to happen, then we know GU2 might have that little bit of drop and continuation. Same as gold, same as every other thing I analyze. So now let's check EURUSD. EURUSD. So EURUSD, we just use another random one. Start with the monthly. Yeah, man, all this is just, I can break down all this market really quick. So we got a monthly key level here. We got another one here. I would say around this area, it makes sense here, because there's support here, some support there. Also potential support in this area, support here, resistance here, support here. You know, I can maybe bring it up a little bit so it makes more sense. So around here, touch, right? So touch also. So we see that we met a very key area of support right here. So now above, what other monthly key levels do we see? We see some around here. So we can take this one too. This is another one. Touch, 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 right? Touch, 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 right? So we see the market has respected these areas. So that's another one that makes sense to me. That's why I think EU might magnetize itself into, which is getting into that zone. The possibility it might have to get back in there. So now let's go into the weekly. So we think this is where EU is going to continue into, just to get back into the zone. So breaking this, moving forward, we can take this zone right here. We can take this, we can make it a box. Okay, so now we see the market has broken out of this area. So what we potentially might be waiting for is another retest. So we can see something like this happen. You can see the market from here just push down a little bit. This one is going to be a very fast retest. Just come down a little bit. It might not have to come into the whole box. It can just come to the tip of the box right here and push back up into the zone. So this is what we're waiting for. We're going to see this move happen in the nearest future, right? So this we can round it up to 1.5. So we can round this move to, can round this to 1.5. Let's see where that will be. This is 1.5, to the T. That makes more sense. So this is my move for EURUSD. I will have this below the zone right here. I want to take profit here. So this is another 365 pips. So you see there's still opportunity to catch in the market. It's over 386 pips to catch. That's a lot. So on 8 hours, this is what we think might potentially happen on a daily. So we think this is what we'll see in this market going forward. The next week or days or weeks or so, we'll see something like this happen. So let's just watch out for this and see how it plays out. This is going to be EURUSD. So this done. Let's send that to myself. Because some of these trades I really want to take them to, so making sure I have them, because all this have fresh analysis. I already have my chart on EURUSD. I have all that whole stuff. If I show you my charts, they're pretty much going to be almost the same thing. But let me just show you guys. So let's load the layout. Let's load EURUSD. So this is my EURUSD right here. Okay, this was my AUD/USD first, but my EURUSD. This is my AUD card. This is still pushing. And yeah, I actually cut this trade going all the way here over 329 pips, and it's still pushing. We're going back to this area. But let me show you my EURUSD. So EURUSD. We cut this move, we saw the breakouts, cut the move, cut it again, got to this area. Now we're still gonna keep pushing, but this is like my charts that I already have marked up and all that stuff. So sometimes it's always good to have a fresh chart just to clear up the whole nonsense and get everything situated again, just decluster my mind. So that's why we're starting afresh, and I'm analyzing this whole new chart. But this is the move for next week, though. This is what I think is going to happen. I'm waiting for that pullback, and we'll find our entry here. So I can just set an alert here also, and we can wait for EURUSD pullback, or we can see retest of breakout. Retest of breakouts. potential long opportunity, which means potential buy opportunity, right? So save. Now we know if EURUSD comes in here, we'll be loading up our buys to keep pushing all the way up. So that's something we should be looking out for in the next coming days. If dollar pushes back up. So if we get dollar to push back up a little bit, we're going to see EURUSD push down, same as GU, same as gold, same as any other dollar pair. So even AED card is something I think I saw here. AED USD, my bad. AED USD, I've actually been tracking this. This was my initial TP was going to be somewhere here, because I saw this move and the market came here, and when it came all the way back here, I knew this week has to be filled up, and which is what we saw happen here. If we go into the daily, you can see from here, this was my potential entry right here, because I saw the market do all this week in here, week out, and maybe if we break it a little bit further, this might explain why I wanted to enter from here. I saw the market engulf this, and maybe a little bit, yeah, because I know my entry was really tight. There has to be a reason why. I think I saw this gap when we came back down here. Yeah, I think this was it. So this is why I entered AED USD. I saw this happening this week here. So I knew if I take my entry and put my stop loss here, I can potentially ride this all the way. And that's why I took that trade, because I got a good opportunity, a good entry, right? So AED USD, I think is going to keep going up also. This is just going through its own retracement phase right now. So we can see this possibly do this. I'm going to show you more what I think might happen. So can push back down to the zone, then push back all the way up. So we're going to come back into the zone. I found a zone here where I think we might potentially come back into, right here. So I think the market is going to do this. It's going to come a little bit lower to the zone and finally push back up. So if we can see the market do this, then we should be good, right? This is what we should be looking for, this. We can see the market retrace back down, find this area of support, then push back up. So on the 4 hours, we can potentially look at this. I can take this out because this is done. And then our new entry can be this. We can take our entry from here. Targets right here. This is over 222 pips. Stop loss, we can go for this zone, which would be like a 50 pip stop loss to potentially get 200. That's a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. So this is what makes sense, right? This makes sense to me. So let's see what happens. I'll also be following up with all these pairs I posted. That's why I'm sending them to myself, so that we can check them back a week from now or 2 weeks from now, whenever it actually plays out. So this is what I think will happen with AED USD. Can also send this to myself. And alright, I think that should be it. Oh, one more pair I really wanted to talk about is XRP. I've actually been tracking XRP for the longest, yeah. I've been tracking XRP, and I know I've missed out on it. Actually missed out on it a lot, because I really wish I was on it. So it is fine. So another one we can say is this. So you might see the market come all the way back into the zone. So this is USD, right? No, not USD, dollar index. This is what I think will happen with the dollar index. All right, now so let's check XRP. XRP. Got all those lines. Well, anyways, I've been tracking XRP, and I think we should take off all the lines and start again. So XRP, what do we got? Now monthly key levels. Let's start from the monthly. XRP is actually looking good though. I think this is still got more room to buy. So we found key levels here, monthlies, key levels here as well, monthly, and one more here. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We got like 4 key levels. You know, you can also identify this one, but we don't really need it because the market has left that place. So now break into the weekly. So this market actually like doubled. So it went from 4.5 all the way back to 9. That's doubled in a week. Market did double its current value, which is wild. You know, that's a lot of money that would have been made if you were on that trade. So now on the weekly, what I think is gonna happen. Let's see. Market came into the zone. We saw the market come into the zone, and what happened? Pushed back out, rejected it. There's another zone right here, and we've seen the market has broken this area. If the market has broken this area, so market pushed aggressively breakout. Are we gonna see that last kiss of a retest before pushing back up? Potentially, maybe. We might see this, you know, so we can see the market maybe might come back into the zone just to retest it before it continues up, going up, because it broke the zone. All we just see is the market, all this might hold it up for a while. You see the market get a little bit of hold in this areas just because of what happened here in the past. So this dashed lines or dotted lines or dashed lines can serve as areas of support. So we can see the market maybe find areas of support and reject these areas, but all in all, we'll be looking for something like this happening. Market coming back down to 5.8 and accelerating back up, right? So we might see something like this happen. If that don't happen, then the faster method might be the market might just come here deep into the zone, something like this, and then accelerate back up and break past this key level zone right here. And maybe potentially find the support here, then keep pushing, but this is what I think might happen. So one of the two can happen here. Might see the market come here for a long position, back all the way up, stop loss below the zone, another one, might see the market do this too, and then stop loss a little bit lower, right? So first option, second option, and this going back up, I think is gonna magnetize itself back to yeah, that wild, but this is what I think though. This is what I think might happen for USD. I mean XRP USD. Still got a long ass way to go. Got a long way to go. Push. Alright, so alright guys, this is what I think was gonna happen, and we'll see what happens with XRP in the next coming weeks, and we'll be tracking this in real time. I really like this pair. I think it has potential move to the upside, like a very high move to the upside. Might see this new week open and we find out week where it's gonna retrace all the way back down to this zone I pointed out and push back up. I'm gonna send this to myself also. But guys, this is it. Just don't want to keep it too long, and I wish this makes more sense to you guys and you guys can get more value from this whole weekly analysis I will be doing moving forward. All right, guys. See you guys next week on the continuation of all these pairs and also more weekly analysis to come. Thanks, guys.